G'day little nippers and welcome to the show! I don't think anything got stuck in our heads more than when Frozen came out. With Idina Menzel's amazing pipes giving every parent from here to the moon a headache, this film was a huge success, both at the box office and on DVD. While the advertising and hype may have been a tad excessive, okay, maybe too excessive, this film was actually okay. A strong message about the power of sisterly love, not shying away from who you truly are, and learning to see past what you see at face value. Now for this review, I'm actually going to write down some similarities this film had with the first one and go from there. So be prepared, this review may contain spoilers. Guys, what happened? You had everyone on tenterhooks with the trailers. The type of shots, the hinting of new characters, the type of story you were going to tell, and this is what we got? Talk about a red herring, this was a red aeroplane. Where the first film had a flowing story and clear character arcs for Elsa, Anna and, well, Kristoff was already an issue in the first film, but we'll get to him later. This film just existed. No clear thoughts seemed to go into the story or the characters, and the only effort that seemed to be spared was for the music. And even then I think it was only because Panic at the Disco worked on them. The characters, which seemed to learn so much in the first film, learned absolutely nothing by the end of this one. And worse, I think some of them even took a step backwards. Take Anna, for example. Her arc was learning about how to control her impulses, learning that sometimes it's important to be mature in certain situations and not always wear your heart on your sleeve. And though this film does address this briefly when Anna thinks everyone she loved is dead, it doesn't go anywhere because they all come back at the end, so nothing is learned. I guess she just forgot about Kristoff, which, don't worry, we'll get to him in a minute. Oh yeah, and she wants to destroy Arendelle. Yes, you heard right. It was purely through sheer plot convenience that Elsa managed to stop it, but the film was written in a way that wanted us to believe that somehow this was all according to plan and was the right thing to do. You do know that this has been the origin for some villains, right? Yeah, destroying a kingdom to basically satisfy the spirits of the earth. That's the reason. Look, I'm all for environmental messages, heck, I live in the thing. But humans are as much a part of the world as any animals, any plants, and any seas or oceans. And just writing them off as just polluting, fire-starting, mother-killing, kidnapping monsters all the time, I just think is a little self-destructive. Humans do good things for the environment too, you know. Then there's Kristoff, the moment you've all been waiting for, and... Disney, what are you doing? In the first film, he was already all over the place. One minute he was a hard-working and stoic individual, and the next he was goofy and talking to his reindeer. In this film, they tried to give him a little thing about proposing to Anna properly, but Anna quite clearly cared more about her sister at this time. So quite rightly, Disney gave him a moment to wonder whether it was the right thing to marry her, because the relationship was genuinely starting to look like it was one-sided, which Disney had never done before. I was really interested in seeing what Kristoff would do, with him always seeming to be chasing her rather than her doing anything for him. This leads to, without doubt, the most mean-spirited musical number I have ever seen in cinema. Oh, not because of the music, because it was actually quite catchy. Not because of the characters or any interactions he had during it, but because it was played up for a laugh. It was just trying to pay homage to a cheesy music video of a bygone era, but to me, it comes across so horrible to Christoph's character, playing off his very real and genuine emotions about his worries for himself and the future up just for a cheap joke. And it was just, I feel, a really mean-spirited, nasty way of telling Christoph's story, which is never addressed again. He just kind of gets over it in like 2 scenes and proposes. Wow, that was a waste of time. Overall, this movie, while colourful and funny in some bits, had a bit of the Toy Story 4 factor for me, placing imagery in our minds with trailer shots and posters about the kind of story we would get, then just giving us something that really didn't seem worth it. The new characters were forgettable and bland, the villain's motivation was cheap and way too simple for it to be realistic. The 4 element spirits were hugely disappointing too. I was expecting other people like Anna to wield them. Wouldn't that have been a better concept? But no. By the end of the movie, the most memorable thing was the music by Panic at the Disco. Therefore, I score this film 5 out of 10 Croc points. A very misleading and all over cheap feeling movie, still raking in money from what I feel was the popularity of the first one. And I honestly recommend some of the fan fiction. It's a lot better. Take care, little nippers. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and, if you can, support me on Patreon. See you in a while, crocodiles! Talk about a red herring. This was a red aeroplane.